How did I know it was going to be the very first time after I stopped recording? Yep. Found a piece of heart. So yeah, we got that out of the way now. Go figure. So if you go in here, this is an archery minigame. But howdy, Lightwater. Look like a straight shooter. Trying to skill my shooting gallery? 5 shots for 20 rubies. Ship as think you are, you stand to rake in the rubies. Good, stranger. Alright, and carefully, ready to go. Cost 20 rubies, but... let's see. Yeah, it doubles for each one you manage to snag. Ah. Alright. Oh, come on. Okay, I'm better than this. Okay, that was just a flub. It's because the hands keep getting in the way here. And I do feel like they try to openly sabotage you, because every time you have a clear shot, they tend to show up. Seriously, it's ridiculous. Ugh. Oh, come on. I'm better than this. Ugh. Can I read about the hands? You know what? I'm just gonna heavily save state my way through this, because I'm wasting too much time. Okay, why does it feel like the arrows just aren't... there we go. They weren't shooting out when I was pressing the button. It's like they were waiting a second. So yeah, you can get a lot of money this way. But yeah, let's just do that. There we go. Now, let me talk about one really annoying thing that this game does. If you thought the book with Dora back in the Light World was vague, this is really freaking stupid. You see, there's a dungeon we need to get to. But, if you go over here... well, first we need to do this. This takes you to the hill up above if you warp from here. And here's another monolith. Well, Master Sword, you get the magic of Bombos. Powerful fire magic that burns things to cinders. Bombos medallions. Magic makes you going to explode with power. What's magic meter? Oh, we have all 3 magic medallions now. We've actually got quite the repertoire at this point. Let's see here. With the exception of one optional one, I think the rest are going to be gone to the dungeons. So, that's interesting. Wait, no, two things in here are, well, not optional, but aren't gone through dungeons. Alright, so... about that. We can actually access this place. Like it's like the canyons got us blocked off. So you might think, well, it's one of those areas we need to warp in, correct? Well, yes, but the method you need to use to get here is actually really freaking stupid, because it's not just going somewhere in the light world and actually finding a rock you can lift that will lead you to a hidden teleport or anything. Like, you can't just do that. No, it's very much sealed off. But there is something you can do to get to it. The problem is that most players are actually going to be very confused at how they're supposed to do this. And I don't blame them, because I think when I played the game, I had to have someone tell me what to do before I could even figure it out. Nah. Freaking throat. Like I said, I'm still sick, so can't help it. Oh, hello. Wandering to the world, I turned to this shape. Enjoyed playing the flute in the original world. Oh. You were that flute boy from before. There was a small grove where animals gathered. Want to see that place again. Buried my flute there with some flower seeds. Try and find it for me? Then I'll lend you my shovel. Good luck. Borrowed a shovel. Dig many places? Never know what you'll find. Sadly, unlike the digging grounds, you aren't going to just find items just scattering around here. I mean, you could dig up the ground anyway, but you aren't going to find much. In the GBA version, they changed this significantly to where the shovel was way more useful. Interesting. What you need to do is look where there's flowers. And you find the flute. In the original version... Oh, here's the flute. It surely has some mysterious power. You need to... Okay. Now that we have the flute, though. Thank you, Link. Looks like I can't play my flute anymore. Please take it. By chance you go to the village I lived in, give it a tired old man you will find there. My mind is getting hazy. Just let me hear the sound of the flute one last time. Oh, well, that's kind of sad. Now, in the GBA version, the flute and the shovel had two different slots. And so did the bottles, for that matter. Instead of just being lumped together right here, they all had their own unique slot on the menu. Which, I think I prefer that, because it just looks better. But yeah, we have the flute now, and now when I first played the game, I really didn't know what it was used for. Like, it mentioned something about the village he came from, but like, I didn't really understand what that meant. Keep in mind, I was just a kid. I didn't really understand that I needed to go back there. So for me, I actually had someone explain this to me. But what you're supposed to do is go back to Kakariko Village at this point. And considering that there's no villagers on the outskirts of Kakariko anymore, I didn't think there was ever any reason to go back there. I mean, can you blame me? After defeating Aghanim, the town changes dramatically. So I figured, you know, there just wasn't a point to it. But there actually is, so... But here's the problem with this. This is very important. You need to go here. This is Snore. So Flute. Do you mean my son? Where is he? Is he alright? I see. I can tell what you want to say by the look in your eyes. Will you keep the flute? Play a sweet melody for the bird in the village square. Beg you, please. So probably want it this way. Still, wish I could see him once more. So yeah, he says to do it for the bird, which he means this. So when I first played the game, I was like, wait, this is what he's referring to? Not some random bird flying around, but this? Alright, sure. Again, this is kind of vague. But sure, why not? But suddenly, actual bird. Okay. Not sure what's up with that, but whatever. Now, when I first played the game as well, I didn't know what purpose this was meant to serve. I was like, well, flute's useless now. Actually, it's not. Because now the bird will actually take you places. Kind of would have been nice to have it a lot earlier in the game, but whatever. And it only works in the light world, too, which is dumb. It won't work in the dark world at all. So, largely, this feels kind of pointless. You're not going to be coming back to the light world very often. On occasion, yes, but not very often. So the warping to and fro at this point just doesn't feel like it's going to have much of a purpose. Except for this. There is no other way to get up here normally. I can't show it off right now, but you do need to be able to have access to this, because one of these has a teleport in it. And without being able to do this, you can't get into the 6th dungeon, Misery Mire. I am not a fan of this. This feels like a very, very obtuse way to lock away one of the dungeons in the Dark World. It is mean as hell, and I do not agree with it. As a matter of fact, it's probably one of the most annoying places to actually get into for that reason. I mean, yeah, I know the proper steps on how to access the flute power, so for me it's probably not so bad, but imagine if you're a first-time player and you're trying not to use a guide or anything, and you run into this issue. It could take a painfully long time to figure that out. I mean, I wouldn't blame someone for being frustrated. There's probably one big reason why, coming back to this game, I don't respect it as much as I do. Like, yeah, I loved it for many years of my life, claimed it was one of the best Zeldas of all time, an amazing Super Nintendo game, and it is, but it's not flawless, and it has some really glaring design choices. Not only that, but some aspects of the game I do find kind of dull. Like, the dungeons themselves in this game aren't exactly that interesting to go through, and some sub-weapons link kits also have very limited utility, and I don't find myself using them often at all. So, yeah, at this point, you can kind of do things in a totally different order. Any order you really choose, because um, there are many areas where you pretty much have exactly what you need just by going through the palace. But just for the sake of keeping things in a consistent order, I will be tackling them numerically. I'll be going to Palace 2 next, then I'm going to go up here to Palace 3, then I'm going to go over here to Palace 4, down here for 5, then I'll be doing 6, then I'll be doing 7. Now, some people might say that there is one really important fact that I'm going to be mostly skipping over if I decide to do the dungeons this way. And I know what they're referring to. I get it, but at the same time, in order to do this one thing early, you have to basically tackle what I believe is 2 of the hardest overall palaces earlier than usual. And I don't think it's worth it. I really don't. Like, what you get is really good. I won't deny it. But all the same, it's still something that I personally feel that I can live without all the same. Okay, so the next order of business is actually to yeah, let's just go through the Water Palace, which is our next destination. Ow. Freaking enemy. Mr. Ruby, but I don't want to give them to you. Keep it between us, okay? Fuck! Why do they always wait till I'm almost back on rubies to do that? Red ruby, red ruby, red ruby, red ruby. Fuck you. Okay, you know what? Scratch that on the Water Palace for now, because I have got to spin these rubies while I'm still able to. Haha. Oh, I think I can get that now, actually. So, yeah. Can we, like... spin a lot of these rubies? I can carry up to 15. Bombs. I mean, I may as well do this. Like I mentioned before, you don't really, in this game anyway, you don't really have a lot of reasons to need to spin rubies. And honestly, this is something the 3D game, a lot of the early 3D games had too. The fact that rubies weren't good for much. That's certainly something I think Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom do a lot better. Having rubies actually feel like they have value because you constantly find reasons to require them. In games like this, once you get like all the upgrades and stuff here, you don't really need rubies much. $50. And at this point, I believe we are at max capacity on both. Yep. Wait, did I never open this pathway up? Thought I did. So, okay. One last thing I'm going to do is go back to the dock. Wow. There we go. And what we need to do to finish things up here... Oh, really? Right as I'm entering. Go away! Seriously. Okay, there we go. So I can get this heart level increased. Ah! This is another palace, but it's going to be a little bit before we can get to that. It's fine, though. I'm not in no big hurry to do this one, that's for sure. Excuse me. But you just now saw a demonstration what happens if you try to warp into a building complex. It'll just send you back where you came from. That can happen actually very easily, and many fans got frustrated by that. Well, we only have 1, 2, 3, 4 spots left for stuff. Go figure. Three of them will be gained through various palaces, and the other one... yeah, we'll get it later. I don't really care about it. But that's all for this one. Next time we'll be going through the Water Palace.